Okay, let's see if this is gonna work now. All right, guys. It kept, everyone said that it kept freezing up. I know, I saw it on my end. On my end, they did it like 3 or 4 times. And it kept saying that it was trying to reconnect. So I don't know. I'm on my Wi-Fi, so I don't know what happened. And I just messaged Tabitha and to let her know that she's got to come on my page, but she's viewed it before. So anyways, okay. I got to keep checking to make sure that she's not. I just gotta ask her and let her know if she has iPhone or what I have. What do I have? A Samsung, a Galaxy. So I had to redo it. It kept freezing up. On my end, it kept saying that it was trying to reconnect. I checked the Wi-Fi. I'm on the right Wi-Fi. So I do not know why it did that. All right. So I'm just waiting for Tabitha to get on. Tabitha is a lung cancer sister that I met through one of the lung cancer pages on Facebook. There she goes. I think that's her. Yep, there she goes. All right. I'm adding you, girl. There she's coming on. Okay, and I know I turned off all of my notification and I just heard one. So I apologize for that. All right, come on. Great, it's not adding her. Oh, there she goes. Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. You finally got on. Nice to meet you.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Nice to meet you, sweetheart.
Nice to meet you.
Awesome, awesome. So I was talking a little bit about you, but now that you're on, so I could properly introduce you and give them a little bit of information that you messaged me, and then I'll go ahead and let you tell your story, share your story, whatever you want to let the viewers know. Um, what gave you hope, what continues to give you hope, anything like that. And then if they have questions, they'll usually comment. And I don't know if you could see the comments, but if not, I could see them. I'll just read them off to you and you just answer the questions. And it's just fun. It's just talking, sharing your story. That's all it is.
Okay, yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, awesome. And I thought I'd turn off my notifications off, and I did. And for some reason, they're gonna pop. So if I leave, I'm not gonna mess with this. So you might hear my notifications going off in the background. So hopefully it doesn't. So guys, thank you for tuning in. This is Tabitha. She is a lung cancer sister of mine. Um, a little bit about her, and then I will let her share her story with you all. So Tabitha was diagnosed back in September of 2016. She is currently stable. Woohoo! That's a good thing. I love to hear that. She is also ALK positive like I am. So we call ourselves, Elkies or, but she is ALK positive. Um, and right now she is currently on targeted therapy, but she is on alectinib, which I am on ceritinib still. Now, what she likes to speak a lot about, and she'll probably speak, when she share her story, is the importance of lung cancer research. And you guys know me, I'm always talking about that. Everyone else that I interview, that's all we talk about is research, research, because we want to live longer. We want lung cancer to become another, chronic illness. People can live with diabetes, with heart disease, all that other stuff. We can too. And so, and it is very important. Now let her talk about what she's doing on her end to bring awareness for lung cancer research. So everyone meet Tabitha, and Tabitha, take it away, girlfriend.
Okay, so first of all, Juanita, I just want to preface it with you are like such an inspiration to
Oh,
me.
oh, thank you.
Um, I just recently started working out because of you.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I would always sit and, I would kind of have the poor me attitude, like I have lung cancer, I can't work out. And then I saw you and I was like, oh my God, she's amazing. Like, I want to
Oh,
be like her.
oh, thank
So,
you. You're gonna
so
make me
I just want to
cry.
let you know that thanks to you, I'm down like 17 pounds
Yo,
and
yay!
on my way to being a better, healthier me.
Yes, amen. Yes, girl.
But
I'm so glad. I'm so glad. You just made my
yeah,
day. Thank you.
no, thank you.
Oh, you are so
Um,
welcome.
so I was diagnosed in September of 2016, like you mentioned. Lung cancer was not even on like my radar. Like
Hmm.
cancer wasn't even on my radar. I don't have any history of any cancer on either side of my family. And I thought I was pretty fit and active and healthy and
Hmm.
um I thought we were just doing great. And then all of a sudden in in November the previous year I got really sick. But
Hmm.
I have to preface it by saying that I'm a teacher
Hmm.
and we get sick all the time.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
like I ended up, finally going to the doctors and I realized that I or they told me that I had bronchitis.
Hmm.
And, the cough started in November and I got antibiotics and it kind of went away. And then it kind of popped up again in March.
Hmm.
And so I went in again. It just wasn't going away. Like it would go away for a few months and then come back. And so I just thought I had like a relapse. So I went to the doctors and they were, my doctor was like, I think it's allergies, but
Hmm.
let me just take a chest x-ray just to make sure. So she took a chest x-ray
Hmm.
and she didn't see anything. So she just gave me an inhaler and some steroids and some Claritin and sent me on my way. And it was so weird. I've never had allergies like my entire life. So I was like,
Hmm.
allergies. So I took the medication and it still wasn't like it wasn't getting worse, but it wasn't getting better. It was just this nagging, horrible cough, but I had no other symptoms. It was just the cough.
Hmm.
Well, it just it started to get a little bit worse and I went back and so they told me I had acid reflux, which is so weird and I just knew something was wrong with my body, but like when you trust your physicians, you don't think to question them because they've taken care of you. Like my doctor had taken care of me for like 20 years. And so
Right.
who was I to question her expertise? So took my acid reflux medication and went on my way. And the cough just kept getting worse. And then so much so that it was scaring my kids. I would sometimes wake up in the middle of the night like coughing so violently that I would have to like vomit.
Oh. Hmm.
And um but I'm really stubborn and I'm busy. Like I just have stuff with kids and work and I kept telling my husband like I don't have time to go to the doctors again. And he was like, "Well, one day, we'll get insurance and you can go to the doctors," being very sarcastic with me.
Hmm.
And so um it was the weirdest thing. And I mean, you'll know that with me like my journey has gotten like really hard. And
Hmm.
I wasn't going to the doctors and I wasn't getting better. I was getting really tired. I was teaching
Hmm.
summer school for 4 hours a day, but come home, I'd tell my kids, okay, I'm just gonna take a nap for like 30 minutes and then we're gonna go and we'll do something fun. And my poor babies, they were only 11, 12, 8, and they
Hmm.
were waiting for me to,
Okay. Let me see.
Okay.
Tabitha froze on me. Can you guys?
Um, are you
Oh, there
there?
you. Yeah, you
Okay.
froze on my end. So I'm asking everyone if they could see you. Okay, you're back. You're good.
Um, so I just, I would sleep. I would end up sleeping for like 7 hours
Wow.
and just like pass out and just wake up. And my poor kids felt really sorry for me because they knew something was wrong. And so they'd be, sitting there watching their mom just so tired. Well, one day I woke up and I had this, I, Juanita, it happened overnight, but I woke up with this huge, huge nodule on the side of my neck here where the scar is. It
Mm-hmm.
was the size of a lime and it literally
Wow.
appeared overnight. It was the craziest thing. And I know myself, I had really, really long hair
Uh-huh.
and I would always blow dry my hair in the mornings. And then one day I was looking in the mirror and it was just there one morning. And
Wow.
um, I immediately at that point was like, oh, better definitely make an appointment.
Yeah.
So long story short, that nodule is pretty much what saved my life. And I really do believe that was a huge sign from God telling me to get my act together and start taking my health seriously.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up thinking that that was thyroid cancer,
Mm-hmm.
which is, what I prepared myself for. But this head and neck surgeon had the smart sense to have me run a CT scan and an MRI before he performed the surgery to remove my thyroid. And that's what caught my lung tumor.
Wow.
So, yeah, so it took almost a year for me to be diagnosed.
And
But
your story is so similar to mine. When you're talking about the cough and they send you home with allergies and prednisone and inhaler, that's exactly what happened to me. But
wow.
mine's I was diagnosed in June. I'm sorry, I take it back. I started getting symptoms in June. The cough got really bad in September, October. I was diagnosed in November. So yeah, I'm kind of not close to a year, but kind of close. And
Yeah.
so your story is so similar to mine. And what and I mean, nothing appeared on me. The only thing I had was coughing. That's the only symptom I had. And I I just got really, really sick when I was at work and I couldn't even walk to the bathroom. That's when I went to the ER. And they still didn't do a CT scan until I told them CT scan. And that's where they found something. And then I had the bronchoscopy the next day. And then 2 days later, I was diagnosed. So
Wow.
very similar to your story.
Yeah,
So then,
very similar.
yes. So after you were diagnosed with lung cancer, then where were the next steps? Take us through that.
So I was diagnosed at just a regular hospital here in my hometown of Cyprus, and then the doctor told me, you know, because we had to do a lot of the legwork for our
Hmm.
previous appointments, our scans, I had to go get the scan, I had to get the x-ray and take it to my doctors. Like they weren't really good at doing or helping us with the legwork. So my doctor said, if he told my husband, if this was my wife or this was my sister, I would take her to City of Hope.
Hmm.
And man, that place, so it's crazy because every little part of my journey just takes me back to like how faithful God is and what he's done in my life and why I believe that I'm supposed to be here because he has put me here. Um,
Amen.
City of Hope is like, it's crazy to get in there. Like, there's a 3 week waiting list for an initial appointment.
Wow.
And so I called that day. I remember calling and I was hysterical. Like, found out that I had lung cancer. Like, I need to get into this hospital, and they're telling me I'm going to be seen in 3 weeks, and I'm crying. And I realized that at this point, like, I was just out of my mind because I'm sitting here telling the lady, like, please, I have like a 12-year-old and an 8-year-old. Of course, everybody else that's, trying to get an appointment has kids too. Like, so I'm like begging her, I'm like, please, I can't. Like, and she's like, okay, honey, I'm going to try to see you in a week and a half. So she shortened it quite significantly. And I said, okay, I'll take that appointment. So I hang up, and my grandmother was a teacher back in Sri Lanka, and one of her students is a family friend, and he's like one of the top endocrinologists in California. And so my dad happened to call him, like, hey, like, is there anyone you know that can, help us out? Well, his colleague happened to be my oncologist, like, really good friend. And so he said, all right, I know this great oncologist. Let me get your information, and I will call you back. And so he literally calls this nurse, and my doctor's name is Dr. Ravi Salgia.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm going to start crying. He was my first oncologist at the University of Chicago Hospital. And why did I have a feeling you were going to say his name? Like, I knew you were going to say Dr. Salgia.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Oh my God, I got to text him. I got to text him. So
yeah,
I hold on, Tabitha. I got a present for you.
Okay.
This is my granddaughter.
Oh, honey.
She makes an appearance on all my videos.
Beautiful.
Say hi. Look at that's Tabitha.
Hi, Mama.
Look and say hi. Tell her in Spanish. ¿Cómo estás? I'm trying to teach her Spanish, but.
¿Cómo está, Mama?
Huh?
Oh my God.
She always makes an appearance, so I just had to.
So
my
cute.
son brought her over. Oh my God, I cannot believe. Yes, when he left University of Chicago Hospital, he told me that he was going to go to City of Hope, and I cried. And when I went to LA, because I appeared in the Dr. Phil show, I met with him and his wife, and we had dinner.
Right.
And I still text him. We text each other. Oh my God, I can't wait to text him. I said, oh my God, guess what I just interviewed? One of your patients that, and oh my God, this is amazing. Oh my God, I love him. He is the best.
He is. He's such an amazing doctor. Yes. And so she called me. So that very same nurse called me back. Sorry, I'm plugging in my phone.
That's okay. I'm going to take a bite of my strawberry. Oh, before I forget, one of our lung cancer sister, Maureen, we call her Mo, I interviewed her. She wants to know, what stage were you diagnosed at?
Stage 4.
Okay. Mo, stage 4. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So, that same nurse calls me back, like, literally less than an hour later, and said, honey, I don't know who you know, but Dr. Ravi Salgia is going to see you in like 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what? I was like, oh my God. So that was and it's so funny because I was really nervous meeting him because I knew that choosing your doctor is crucial, I think, in your fight.
Very.
And I remember having a conversation with my husband and asking him, like, how do we know, like, how do we know if he's the right doctor? Do we get different opinions? What do we do? And it's so funny because my husband, for a really long time, wasn't very, like, spiritual or religious, and he just said, like, God's gonna give you a sign. And it's crazy because we met him that night, and he said one thing to me that I knew like right away that was it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not getting an
Mm-hmm.
opinion. He's my doctor.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking and he's asking me questions and then he's asking me about my scans and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just and I'm like crying and he looks at me and he goes, "Listen, it's Labor Day weekend. You've got your kids at home. You go home. I know this is hard to do, but you go home and you don't worry about it for a little bit. You let me worry about you. I'm going to take care of you."
Oh,
And like after that, I was like, okay, done. He's
yes.
my doctor forever.
Yes, he's a
And it's so
great.
funny because when he came, after the appointment, he told me he had just gotten to City of Hope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Cause he,
I think
yeah.
he just come from the University of Chicago like
Yep.
a few months ago or something when
Mm-hmm.
I was diagnosed.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes my heart so happy
Yes.
to know that he was your doctor
Oh
too.
my God, he was amazing. I miss him so much. But you know what? I told him, he goes, when he gave me the report, he's the one that told me you're a walking miracle. And but when I first went to him, I was scared. I was crying because I had went to the Mayo Clinic for another opinion, and there they told me I only had 18 months. But that was the the nurse practitioner. And so, but when I saw the oncologist there, Dr. Molina, he told me you have one of the best doctors in your backyard. And he said, Dr. Salgia. Well, my sister got up and went and made the appointment. So I flew home Wednesday. By Friday, I was at the University of Chicago Hospital. And Dr. Salgia, I went up there with my son, his girlfriend, my sister, my husband. I forgot who, a couple of the kids, I don't remember. And he knew that I was scared. I was crying. And I'll never forget, he sat next to me and he grabbed my hand. He held my hand and he goes, you have a very, and he said very good chance of beating this. And he told me, I'm going to help you beat this. You're going to see your kids grow up. And then he goes, and I'm a believer. And right there, I knew that's it. I knew that was a sign from God too. And he was oh my God. Now, my doctor now that I have at the University of Chicago Hospital, Dr. Patel, I love her to death. I mean, she's a great oncologist too. So she's awesome. But yeah, Dr. Sagia is the one that gave me hope when I went there. And because of him, I thank him. And when we left, when I said goodbye to him, oh my God, I think on the way home I cried. My husband's like, can you stop crying? I cried all the way home. But he's an amazing doctor. And I'm glad that he's now somewhere else helping other people like you and other lung cancer brothers and sisters out there in California and helping them and giving them hope. And that just warms my heart and just, God, it just makes me feel so good. God is good. He's amazing.
He is, and it's so amazing how he literally how he works through all of us for all of us.
Yes.
Because like Dr. Salgia is like the perfect example of like how God uses people and just for every different like life out there. And that makes me so happy. Like he's
I,
such a great doctor.
yes, he is.
And I remember I asked him one day because it's so funny because I'll see little hints of emotion, but most of the time he's like all about the fact.
Yeah.
But he does come in and it's so cute because every time he comes into an appointment, he gives me a hug.
Yes.
And like, I feel like he's my dad. Like, it's
Yeah.
so funny. But he told me, I asked him, um, are you trying to get me more time or are you trying to like cure me? And he said, I'm gonna do both. And I was like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yes, he
So I've
is.
just gone on that. I've taken that as like God's promise and just from
Yes.
there, just trusted like where he put me and I'm trusting the journey and it went pretty fast. I met with him. I had a bronchoscopy and
Mm-hmm.
a PET scan, and that's where they determined where it had spread and my stage. And then, and it's so funny. He never, until I asked him, he never even used a stage. Like, I like that he is so hopeful all the
Yes,
time.
yes, He is.
like he never puts a number. He's never given me a time. He's always just, he's always been about like, here are my, like, you have so many options. You have so many things on the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't need to think in that, on those terms. And
Right.
so I think because of him, like, it's changed my mindset a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so, yeah, I was diagnosed, and then pretty much I had my PET scan, I met with him, and then he had me on chemo within 2 days because
Okay.
he had done the genetics test.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew that I was having a special test, but back then I was super naive and I didn't really know and I didn't want to ask questions because I was scared.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know what it was about. But he told me, it's spread so fast, we got to get you on chemo.
Okay.
So I was on carboplatin and Taxol for one
Mm-hmm.
round, and that was gonna be my chemo regimen if things didn't come back. But I didn't even know what was coming back, so it was kind of like a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
But the day before my second round, he called me like a amazingly happy like best friend that had great news.
Yeah.
And he was like, listen, I just got the, like, he started talking really fast, and then he was like, he just kept using words like amazing and wonderful, and I like couldn't get the rest. And then I heard you get to take a pill, and I was like, what?
Mm-hmm.
And he explained Zalcori, and that's what I was on first.
Mm-hmm.
Did have 3 rounds while I was on Zalcori. I had 2 rounds of focal point radiation
Okay.
to my brain because I had lesions in my brain and Zalcori just wasn't going to cover it. So
Right.
we had to have that. After the first round, it was great, clear, and then a couple more popped up and they wanted. I've sort of had brain lesions here and there throughout my
Mm-hmm.
journey. Kind of pop up, they zapped them,
Mm-hmm.
and then, you know, but then came alectinib, and so the last time everything else was stable, but after a year on Zalcori, the brain lesions just were kind of growing again.
Okay.
So switched me in October of 2017.
Mm-hmm.
He switched me to alectinib,
Okay.
and
Good.
I've been on that since then.
Awesome. And
So
you're doing great. And
yeah, I feel I definitely, and it's funny to say this, but some days I forget that I have lung cancer.
exactly. And that's how you should be every day. Put that in the past because it's in the past. Close that door. Look towards the
Yeah.
future. And there's something that you said that you in your interview when you were talking right now, sharing your story. You kept saying trust, trust, trusting, and that's the key word. You have
Yeah.
to trust. You have to have trust in God. You got to have that faith.
Mhm.
No matter what report comes back, no matter if they come back and say, nope, you just, as long as you have that trust, I'm telling
Yeah.
you, people just, people out there, when I try to talk about that, it gets hard for me because maybe they're not in my shoes or they don't understand. But I tell them, I says, if you find a faith-based church and you just sit and you just listen, or if you open
Mhm.
up and and I have a lot of my lung cancer sisters here in the Chicago area. They're Jewish, and I found out through the ancestry DNA. Well, my mom's side of the family, they go back to back in Spain, or Sephardic Jews. So I guess so I tell them, well, I'm a Hispanic Christian Jew. I just throw all there, and they're like at me like, what? I'm like, don't worry about it. They get it, but no one else does. So, but and I tell people, if it's the Torah, if they're Jewish, or if they're Christian, if you just open up the Bible and you just start reading, and you start understanding, and it starts talking to you, it does something to you, and people just don't understand that. My faith is what got me here. Your faith, you believing, trusting in God and our Heavenly Father,
Mhm.
that's what got you here. and we still have a purpose. You still got a purpose. I've been advocating from day one, and now, I travel a lot, and I do things for longevity, Lung Cancer Foundation of America. I go to DC and I participate in panels and stuff like that. I mean, that's what I do. And then I started doing these Facebook Live videos because I wanted to educate, to bring awareness, and to show people, just because we have lung cancer doesn't mean that we're going to just sit around, give up, mope, and die. We're going to fight because we matter too, and to stop the stigma. And I want people to see all the different faces of lung cancer.
Yeah.
And that's why I do this, and to bring hope for newly diagnosed. And so,
Yeah.
I do all these videos are on my page, and then I also started, a YouTube channel, and so I
Okay.
have all the videos of you guys, and I'll download yours if you give me permission. I'll
Of course.
thank you, and I'll download yours, and then people that don't have Facebook, well, now they could look at all the videos on my YouTube channel and get educated and see all the different stages, all the different walks of life, all the different, religious, non-believers. That's okay too. I love them as much, and I pray for them as well. I told him, I don't care, but pray to the universe, but believe in something, and get that
You
hope.
have
And,
to.
and I tell people, when you speak positive things, when you speak life, is
Yeah.
right there. And one of the, I don't know exactly which, what chapter up, but in the Bible, there's a verse, and it pretty much goes, um, life and death lies in the power of our tongue. So what are you going to do? Speak life.
Yeah.
If you speak bad,
Absolutely.
to someone, or if you keep speaking bad, like, oh, then that's going to happen. When you start speaking positive, and you start believing it and trusting it, and I'm no, like I always say, oh no, God said by his stripes I am healed. Well, guess what? I am healed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you have to
Absolutely.
do. And I'm so glad you said that, because that is so true. That is so true.
Absolutely. I mean, your mind is such a positive thing.
Yes.
It's such a powerful thing.
Yes.
So if you tell your body, oh my gosh, I'm sick, I have no hope, I'm dying, well, guess what? Your body's just going to follow suit.
Yes. Yes.
But if
Yes.
you
Yes.
tell yourself, like, I can do this, you know,
That's my son.
um,
He's trying to drink my pop. I'm sorry. Julius, don't drink my pop. Okay.
awesome. um, so yeah, I grew up in church. I spent every Sunday, every Wednesday, like we went to church all the time, and I never quite developed a relationship with God. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I saw it, like you see it. I
Right.
believed in God, but I didn't
Right.
really believe until like I was diagnosed. I remember,
Yes.
I mean, I know you remember that feeling. Like, there's no words for the feeling when you're told you have lung cancer.
Oh, I know.
You just, and I just didn't know. I was devastated. And so I came home. I remember, it was like a Tuesday night or something, and I didn't know what to do. And it's funny because I felt guilty praying because I hadn't been living my life the way God wanted me to. Hadn't been that great of a person. Not a bad person, but
Right.
just not like the best person I could be. And so I remember I was in the restroom and I was sitting there on the toilet. TMI, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But, and I just said this prayer. I said, God, like, I know I don't really have the right to ask you, but I don't know what to do. Like, please just help me. Like, I don't know. And I went to bed that night, and, it was just that kind of sleep, the sleep where you just have cried yourself to sleep and you are exhausted. And I woke up the next morning, and it was like on the tip of my tongue, but I couldn't figure out what it was. And it was, I can do all things through Christ who
Who
strengthens
strains
me.
me? Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know where it was. And coming from a girl that had like read the Bible through those devotionals like four
Yeah.
times growing up, still didn't know where it's from. I thought it was a meme. Dumb dumb. So I told my husband, and I typed the entire thing into Google.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, this must be like an inspirational saying. And it came up Philippians 4:13.
Yep.
And I literally thought, like, honest to goodness, like God put that
Yes.
verse into my, like he put that into my mind, in my mouth, because he was speaking to me and telling me
Yes.
that I can do everything because his strength is what's going to get me through this.
Exactly. Amen.
And that verse has carried me through the last 2.5 years. I remember, so I didn't tell anybody about that encounter. I
Mm-hmm.
went to chemo. It was like a week or so. Went to chemo, and the night I was on the chemo bed was when I put everything on Facebook
Mm-hmm.
about like my journey, and kind of just revealed everything to family and friends. But my husband's best friend,
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't have any social media, like nothing. So we hadn't talked to him. He didn't know anything about what was going on. And I just found out that it was him a couple months ago because nobody would fess up to it. I had no idea. But I came home from chemo, and propped up against my front door was a big canvas that sits in my living room now that
Mm-hmm.
said, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me.
Wow.
And it was just
Wow.
sitting on my door. No note, no nothing. And I have asked people on Facebook, like throughout the years, like, hey, who put that there? Like, and I was joking with them the other day at the gym, and he was like, I gave you that. And I was like, what? I was like, how did you know? And he's like, I just saw it, and God told me I need to get this for you.
Yes.
And he doesn't have Facebook, so he never saw my like verse. He never sees anything that I post about it. But there's that instance. And then the first CT scan after being on Zalcori, I
Mm-hmm.
was a nervous wreck because Dr. Salgia said, it's make or break. This first scan is going to tell us everything we need to know about where your treatment plan lies. And I was so stressed out, and I'm really terrible with needles. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
anything in the last 2+ years that has, like, being poked so many times is torture.
I know.
And so I was like crying, and it was Valentine's Day, and I'm sitting in the pre section before the CT,
Mm-hmm.
and I look up on the board, and in a heart on their whiteboard where the nurses write their notes
Mm-hmm.
is PHIL 413.
Wow.
And I look up there, and like I literally just felt this, like the peace of God just
Mm-hmm.
flow over me. And you know, I think about it, and I see I've been trying to rack my brain, and I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So does that mean I'm going to be cured? Maybe, maybe not. But I think what I've realized in the last few months is this journey,
Mm-hmm.
like regardless of what the outcome is, he's going to be with me every step of the way with his strength, and it's
Yes.
going to cover me, and I just have to lean on him. And you
Yes.
know I've tried to do that, and I think I'm learning that if I say I have faith in him, I have to give it all to him, and
Yes.
I have to act it too. So I can't stress or worry or cry.
Right.
I just have to
Right.
go with, every bit of faith in God. And so I've started, like I said, I've been inspired by you, and
Oh,
I
thank you.
started this year. I started working out. I started with my diet, cutting everything out that I need to, and I've started talking about it more. So we've had a couple of fundraisers. Last year we had a fundraiser called Cupcakes for a Cure,
Mm-hmm.
and we raised like $2,000 or so for lung cancer research for longevity. And then I've participated in some walks and kind of joined the lung cancer community now a little bit
Good.
more,
Good.
because I'm ready to talk about it, and I'm
Yes.
ready to share my story. And I love Chris Draft. He has been so
Yes.
instrumental
Yes.
in my journey. Um, he has taught me that you can turn pain and grief into something wonderful,
Yes.
and you can help people. And so definitely not on his scale, but I'm trying to do that. And so and then I see, people like you and people like Ivy and people like Amanda and people like Gina, who just are the most fantastic, amazing human beings, and know you don't want to have lung cancer, and know it's such a crappy, shitty club to be a part of.
Right.
But damn, the people are so wonderful.
Yes.
Like, I would never have gotten a chance to like connect with so many amazing people had I not been given this journey.
Right.
So,
That's amazing. That's amazing. But let me tell you, going back to God, although that Philippians verse, that was all confirmation. So when you saw it, when you woke up and that was in in your tongue and in your mind, and you looked it up, and then and you were getting the signs, that was confirmation. That was God confirming and letting you know that you're gonna be okay. That was all confirmation.
right.
Two, yes, you go ahead and cry, girl, but no. Two, you had said maybe is he telling me maybe I'm gonna be healed? Maybe don't. No. This is how my pastor teaches us. Okay, God died, Christ died on that cross for us, not only for our sins, for our illnesses, for our sickness, for everything. He died for us. That was the ultimate sacrifice that he did for us, the ultimate sacrifice, so we could live and live a healthy, long life. You
Yeah.
will be cured. So don't say maybe, maybe not, because I was like that until my church family, my pastor was like, oh no, get that out of your mouth. So Tabitha,
Yeah.
get that out of your mouth. God
Okay.
can heal. God can heal. God heals. I don't care what anyone tell me. No one out there could argue with me. God healed because he healed me. I am no evidence of disease. There is no cancer in my body. Okay, none whatsoever. It is gone. There is miracles. So
Yeah.
you need to start speaking like that, thinking like that. His words, his word is truth, the living truth. So remember
Yeah.
that, okay? Always remember that
I
he
will.
can and he will. But most importantly, he has healed you. It's already
He
done.
has.
It's finished. He did it on the cross for us. You are healed. You have to believe it and say it all the time, sister. I promise you that.
Yeah.
And if you ever need help, girl, I'm telling you, I'll be helping people. If it ain't through CrossFit working out, if it ain't through lung cancer, I have people say, can you, I mean, literally, can you pray? Can you pray? And I'm like, okay, I really want to go to sleep, but I'll pray. And I'm praying for whatever. And I pray, I say, Lord. And, and all have that survivor's guilt. I do too. I've lost many lung cancer brothers and sisters, but I truly believe, their little short time on earth, they did God's purpose. But we're still here. There's a reason. And
Right.
and my pastor says, this is my gift. I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay, this is my gift. I said, but can I get an Emmy with it? I want to walk on that red carpet, a nice dress, go back to,
Right.
Hollywood and say, hey, here's my Emmy. But you're here for a reason. And now you're opening up. So, and now you're sharing
Yeah.
your story. That's the first step, sharing your story. And it's just so amazing how our story is so similar. Same oncologist. It was like, it was destined. God wanted us to
Yeah.
be, but it was on his perfect timing when we met. When I
Yeah.
posted, hey, I'm looking for someone, and you like, hey, I'll do it. It was just, that
Yeah.
was, God knows what he's doing. He puts the right people in our path. And I truly believe
He
that.
does.
So,
He definitely
and
does. And I believe it. I believe that this journey, I've come to realize that it's God's time, it's God's plan,
yes,
and I am happy to be a part of it.
yes,
And not only has, he healed me physically, because I'm not, like, we're not supposed to be here. Like, it's a miracle that we're all here. And but he's also healed me, like he's healed my heart. He's
yes,
healed my relationships. He's healed just my family. Like, there's so many things that he has done outside of just, healing me of this lung cancer.
Yes.
So that, yeah, it's crazy how like we're so
And
connected.
yes, and you have a big family out there, all the lung cancer brothers and sisters. And then Bobby, one of our lung cancer sisters, Bobby, she's from the Chicago area. She asked if you're going to the Hope Summit. You are going to the Hope Summit, right?
I am,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. So, Bobby, if
Yeah.
you're still watching, she will be there at the Hope Summit. Um, and I think Tracy and I were on the welcome committee. So
Oh,
you'll meet
cool.
Tracy. So I'll be welcoming you that day on
Okay,
Friday,
yay.
right before the
Okay,
reception. There's
cool.
a welcome reception for the newbies. So I'll be there. You'll meet Tracy. Tracy is
Yay.
that's my sister. I love her to death. She's a little crazy. Okay, but both of us together, we're crazy. Yeah, so just get ready. You're going to have fun. You'll meet my husband, amazing
I'm so
guy. I think he's
excited.
going to do, because he's going to be on the caregivers panel. So
Oh,
Katie,
cool.
yeah, Katie had asked if he would participate. I was like, sure. So I do whatever I can to help to bring awareness, to stop the stigma, to give people hope. And if I could give them hope through this, through my story, working out, encouraging them, or even my faith in God, because they could see the fruits through me. They could see what God has done. God has blessed me so much. I call Jesus Christ, I call him Yeshua. I don't call him Jesus, I call him Yeshua. Sometimes I'll say Jesus, but I always say my Yeshua is so good to me. He has blessed me beyond. And now what I say on a daily basis is I'm going to be the oldest living lung cancer survivor. So I told my pastor, well, the Bible says we're supposed to be on this earth like about 120 years. He says, yeah. I go, well, I want to be 130. I'm going to be the oldest. And he laughed. I said, oh, you're laughing, pastor. And we all started laughing. But, you know, that's the goal. I said, I want to meet my great grandchildren. I don't care if I'm 90 something years old with a cane, a walker, I'll still be doing CrossFit, but I want to meet my great grandchildren. Um, and, I'm going to keep speaking that, but God knows when it's time for me to go home, and I'll be happy to go home because I want to see my mom. I miss my mom. I lost her. It's going to be 2 years. I miss her dearly. But, I have my granddaughter that just brought, joy
She's
back
so
into my,
cute.
thank you. Thank you. And so, and Bobby said, "Good, we'll meet then." Yes, you'll meet her, and we're
Yeah,
gonna have lots of fun. You're gonna love the Chicago people. We're crazy, girl. We're some crazy people. Yes, you're
I
gonna
love
love
it.
us. Yeah, they think we're
I'm ready.
nuts, but we're from Chi-Town. We're a little cray cray, So we have fun. And but yeah, and then let me see, my boot camper Velma. She goes, Juanita, you've blessed so many of us on a daily basis. Thank you, Velma. Oh my God, you guys are gonna make me cry. I'm a crier, and I try not to cry, but
Me too.
yeah, I'm a crier. But thank you so much. And today I went to, because even though I work out and I lift weights and everything, but I'm big chested, so certain clothes don't fit me because I'm so big. I just need a breast reduction. But I went to a store. Actually, I went to Lane Bryant, and because I always go there for my bras. And I was talking to the lady that works there, and I don't know how we just started talking about church and something. And then I told her, well, I'm just looking for something, long sleeve, maybe a little jacket or something, because DC could get, kind of chilly. Those conference rooms get chilly, and she asked me, and I told her where I was going, and then I found out that she was the assistant something minister or assistant pastor or something like that. And then just be talking, she gave me another confirmation and kind of a prophetic word. And she's like, this is just the beginning. God has something big planned for you, Juanita. He goes, and
Oh
everything that
my
you're
God.
doing, she goes, everything that you're doing is leading to what you're supposed to do, his purpose, his plan for you. And she goes,
That's amazing.
and it is for lung cancer. And I was like, and that's when I was diagnosed, Tabitha, I remember praying and I told God, I I want to do something big, huge for lung cancer. I want to leave this earth, and I want my children, my grandchildren, and great grandchildren say, you know what, my mother, grandma, great grandma, she made that happen. She was helping people. I want to leave this earth knowing that anyone else that gets diagnosed, they're gonna live longer. And so, and that was a prophetic word and a confirmation. And I was just like, Lord, thank you. You are just so worthy. You're amazing. You're awesome. And I say the same thing. I don't deserve his grace and mercy, but I thank him and praise him for his grace and mercy because he's amazing. And then
Yes.
we have another lung cancer sister. While on her Facebook, she has Me So Lucky Casanova.
Ah,
She's from the Chicago area. And she goes, I hope to meet you all. I'm in Chi-Town also. Okay, Me So Lucky Casanova. Next time we get together over here, I'll let you know. And then Roberta Bobby says, are you flying with us on Thursday morning? Are you asking me? Yeah, I'm flying with you, girl. Did you forget? That's Bobby. We're all flying together from Chicago to DC.
oh,
Yeah, I'm on the
cool.
same plane with you, so it's going to be crazy, Bobby. So, oh, Me So Lucky. She said my name is Mary. Okay, Mary. Mwah. Well, next time we have something in Chicago, I'll let you know so you can meet the Chicago crew. Um, so, Tabitha, thank you so much for sharing your story. Thank you
Thank
so much for
you.
being so open. Thank you for recognizing and not afraid. Because some people, I think, feel afraid to talk about God or, Yeshua and bring it up. No, not me. Thank you for
No.
sharing your faith because you might have touched someone else out there that maybe is struggling. You probably, not you, Juanita. I know you are. I was asking Mary. Oh, no, I don't know. I don't think Mary's going, Bobby, to the Hope Summit. Mary, are you going to the Hope Summit? But thank you for sharing
No,
your
thank
story. It was amazing. I can't wait to text Dr. Salgia and let him know.
I know.
And then when you see him, let him know. And, he's a great doctor. Give him a hug for me. Tell him I love him and I
I
miss him.
will.
And then hopefully, whenever I go back to LA, I could probably, you know, um, meet him up again and
Visit
have
me.
dinner. Yeah, oh, of
Yeah.
course. Oh, of course. That we'll all get together. We'll all get together.
Yeah.
We'll go out and have dinner or something. And with my husband and his wife. Oh my God, we had so much fun. So
Yeah.
my viewers are out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. Um, please make sure, well, I was told that I can say share this video. Um, Facebook is doing something I don't know. So I don't know what's
Thank
going
you
on with
so
Facebook.
much.
No,
Thank you
thank
so much
you.
for everything you do. Like, I watch your videos and I'm so inspired and by all of their stories and just by your story. And I appreciate you doing this and having me on. Thank you.
Okay, well, no, thank you and you're welcome. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week in
Yes.
DC. I'm looking forward to meeting you, giving you a big hug, and just hanging out. And I introduce you to. I know you're new. You're gonna. It's a big happy family. I introduce you people, and you make sure you go out there and mingle, and we're just gonna have a good time. And you're gonna learn a lot, and you're gonna get when you go there and meet other lung cancer survivors, stage 4, stage 3, and they've lived longer, that's going to give you so much hope. And that right there is going to be another confirmation from God letting you know, I'm here, so
Yeah.
he's not going to leave
Well,
us.
I'm more comfortable this time.
Hmm.
Last year, I was a little more, I didn't really involve myself. We went to all the sessions. It was great. We met a lot of great people. But I think this year I'm ready to like really
Good.
take it all in.
There you go. Good. Wow. I'm looking
I'm
forward to
really
it.
excited to meet you.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. Thank you all. Make sure you share. I'm not supposed to say share, but make sure you share. Tag people if you guys could relate with Tabitha and you want to reach out to her for some advice, some suggestions, some ideas, whatever. Make sure you hit her up. I tagged her so you could send her a message. For my lung cancer family out there, I'll see you all guys next week. Next week, I'm gonna try and do a live one in DC. So I might pick someone randomly or ask someone. So anyone watching that is gonna be in DC next week, and if you wanna do a Facebook Live interview next week, let me know, and we could do when my husband, he'll be there. He'll just hold the phone, and you and I would sit together. So anyone out there, if you know of anyone that's going to DC and want to do it, I would like to do one at the Hope Summit, probably in the evening. Now, Thursday I can't because I'll be at the gala. Friday, and also anyone that's watching, Friday at 12:30 DC time, For those that are going to the Hope Summit, I'm going to have boot camp with Juanita. So guys, bring your workout clothes, get ready. It's only half an hour, so we're going to do a quick warm up. We're going to do a quick 10, maybe 15-minute WOD. WOD means workout
Oh,
of the day.
fun.
And then that's it. It's a quick half hour. So for those of you that are going, make sure, let friends know, let everyone know that's going. Boot camp with Juanita, that's going to be Friday at 12:30 DC time. So maybe before the reception, or maybe even during the reception, I want to do a Facebook Live interview out there with someone. So if you want to do it, hit me up. You got my number. Not message me, say me, and then I'll look for you and we'll do it. If not, we could do it Saturday. But it won't be like this. It'll just be somewhere in DC. I don't know how, but I'll figure it out. So just
Very
let
cool.
everyone know. Okay. All right, Tabitha. I love you. God bless you.
God bless you.
Yes.
See you in
Good night.
Washington.
Yes, I'll see you in Washington. Mwah. Bye, sweetheart.
Bye.